Kirk Duckwall here with Mastermind the Market, your real estate stats update for the Twin Cities area. Well, prices hop, but there is a carrot out there worth waiting for. What do I mean by that? I'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, make sure you click on that subscribe button. We know that knowledge is power, and the more knowledge that you have about our Twin Cities real estate market, the more that you can leverage that to your advantage. So again, click on that subscribe button. Let's dive into the data. Showings per week, per listing, median sale price range, 200 to 400K, Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Average showings per listing, 9.28. That's a drop from 10.41. This is most likely due to the holiday weekend, the Easter holiday weekend. So no surprise really to see that drop. However, I did mention a carrot of good information out there, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Total showings dropped as well, 4984 down to 4195. I would expect those numbers to hop back up a little bit next week. Again, we're still tracking way faster than last year as far as showing activity, obviously due to the pandemic and where it was at this point last year. New listings is staying relatively flat at about 1,500, and it's been that for a few weeks running or close to, which is leaving inventory. I talked about our inventory kind of bottoming out a few weeks ago. Well, we haven't moved much, still flat at about 5,000 total listings. Now, the acceptance rate of offers out there, and talking about some carrots of good information. The acceptance rate of offers is up to 42% of offers made are now being accepted. That's up quite a bit over just a few weeks back. That information coming from Minnesota Transaction Coordinators. They have a great Facebook page where you can follow some good data there as to what the market is doing. Rates move up ever so slightly, up to a 3.18 from a 3.17. The markets from our resident mortgage geek, Chad Preby, Bell Bank Mortgage, up. Still pretty volatile out there. However, the recommendation is to float unless you have short-term time till you're closing, as there may be some positive signs that could bring those rates back down. Again, it's kind of volatile, just waiting to see there. The market meter not doing a whole lot, still sitting there at a 10. We were at a 10 in January, February, and ending in March. So no surprise there, knowing that our market meter predicts where sale prices will go. That sale prices month over month ended up jumping. Was it a 314,000 up to a 327,000 in movement month over month. That's up 10.4% over the same time last year, and we would expect that to still trend up for a little while longer, as again that market meter predicts where these jumps are going to happen a couple months early. So we can see in January, that's when January to February, that's when the prices started to move. But if we look back at that market meter, we started to see that upward movement from November into December. Now, where this market meter is going, there are some positive signs. So we're sitting there still at a 10, which is great for sellers, not so great for buyers. However, the big carrot holding out is that on prices above 350, we've been seeing a few weeks running of showing activity dropping. If that trend continues over a few more weeks, we may start to see that market meter move off of that extreme seller's market. However, it's extreme. It's still in a very good range. I mean, any time that you're in that 7 to 10 range as a seller, that's pretty decent. However, looking back at that acceptance rate, we can see that there are signs of it becoming not as competitive out there. That acceptance rate was in the low 30s that buyers were making. So now that we're seeing that move up, the showing activity dropping back, again, looking at this drop here, this should start to come down as we go on into spring, but my guess is we'll see a slight movement back up before that drops. Also, for buyers, being that we just had a holiday weekend, we're expecting that we may have a jump in listing inventory greater than it was obviously the last week because of the holiday, and maybe even the weeks before, which had a pretty good pace. We're hoping to get that new listing rate into the 1800 range, and would love to see that hit the 2000s, which it was in back in 2019. So for buyers, continue to be patient out there. For sellers, it still is a good time, but there are signs showing that we may be coming off the absolute peaks. Hopefully you found this information helpful. Again, click on that subscribe button. Take care, be safe, and have a great week.